but this is very traditional for Danes.
Correct. And I suppose that's, you know, there are a number of royal families in Europe and elsewhere. They all have their own way of doing things. They all have their own traditions. So it's difficult to compare them too closely. Again, time to organise is a huge thing. But you can tell that it is totally steeped in tradition. They have their ways of doing this. And, you know, in a way, the Scandinavians have that, you know, elegant, traditional, yet very pragmatic sense about them. And you can see the way that comes out in their royalty even.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's bring in our reporter, Julia Bradley, who is at Christian Bohr awaiting the royal arrival. Julia, what's happening where you are now?
Well, Danica, people are just so excited to try to catch a glimpse of the royal couple and Queen Margrethe. I'm watching people in the crowd now, and a lot of people just standing on their tippy toes. They don't want to miss a moment of this. It's such an historic moment for Denmark. There's a real feeling of it being bittersweet as well, because Queen Margrethe, she's someone who's so loved by Danes, and this is really that last moment for them to farewell her. But it is a moment of excitement as well. People are ready for that new generation of royals to be welcomed in. They've got a lot of admiration as well for Prince Frederik and also Princess Mary. So it is really that right time for them to come in, to take the throne, to ascend the throne. And here, just looking around at the crowd, there are people waving their Danish flags. There's lots of these little paper crowns as well that people have on their heads. They've got their phones held up really high, their cameras, just trying to get a picture of this moment. The last time that we saw a monarch sworn in Denmark, that being Queen Margrethe, was half a century ago. She's served as the Queen of Denmark for 52 years. And this is a really rare moment as well, because as we've been talking about, the last time that a monarch abdicated was nearly 900 years ago. So when Queen Margrethe took the throne, that was after the passing of her father. So it is really rare that we see a monarch abdicate and not give up the throne, and give up the throne, should I say, earlier than if they've just passed away, for example. So it is that moment where people have decided that they've got to be here. They're down here, they're gathering shoulder to shoulder, and they're just really excited to see what will happen over the next few hours.
And Julia, I noticed that you caught up with some Australians who are also in the crowd. How significant a moment is this for them as well? There are thousands of Australians living in Denmark, living in Copenhagen. For them, this is special as well. What have they told you?
It's a huge moment for the Aussies who call Denmark home as well. Danica, I've been speaking with Australians over the past few days, and also this morning as they've been gathering here outside Christian Bohr Palace. I've been speaking to a family from Brisbane. They've got their blow-up kangaroo, Aussie flags and the like, and they're really excited because this is the moment that brings Denmark and Australia closer. And they've really been following that love story of Frederik and Mary for such a long time. As we know, they met in 2000 during the Sydney Olympics. And this is such a big moment now as they become king and queen. There are cheers from the crowd at the moment as this procession makes its way to Christian Bohr Palace. And people are really just looking forward to watching Frederik and Mary, the beloved couple, become the new King and Queen of Denmark. So Aussies, there are 3,500 of them living in Denmark, many of those in Copenhagen. And also, after this proclamation takes place today as well, the ambassador, the Australian ambassador to Denmark, is putting on a huge reception for Australians here. So it's going to be a huge celebration. People are just Mary, their beloved Mary, Tassie-grown Mary, become the new Queen of Denmark.
What a beautiful moment. What a beautiful moment for the Danes, but also for Australians there.